I shall hand it over to you, Annmarie.
Thank you so much. I'm Annmarie, I'm an addict. I apologise because you're recording if I swear. I swear when I get nervous. I mean, I've got a dirty mouth anyways, but I do swear when I get nervous. Oh, and I have to say I'm absolutely shattered as well, and I feel like I'm coming down with something. I went camping last weekend, and then I had a screaming match with she was screaming, I was going, stop, but I'll get there, I'll tell you all about it. Anyways, step one. So today I'm 11 days, 2 months and 21 years clean. I turned 21 in May, and I got that by doing the suggestions. I was 12 steps into NA, and I went along to my first meeting because I was nosy. I was like, you sure there's this place, and I went along, and I just knew I belonged straight away. And after my first meeting, I had to go home and roll a joint to process what I'd learned, because it just blew my mind. I was so like, wow, I had to skin a spliff, honestly. And then my second meeting, I went back in again. It was wow, but it was as I was rolling that joint after my second meeting, I said to myself, tomorrow I'll stop. And I realised that this tomorrow that I'd been telling myself for years was never ever coming. It just wasn't coming. I was always saying tomorrow, and it just wasn't coming. And I stayed on the phone while, because I had drugs still in my room, and I stayed on the phone while this woman, she was like, you need to get rid of it, Annmarie, this, that and the other. So she was my first sponsor. So she stayed on the phone with me while I got rid of it. And that was that moment of clarity that they talk about, and that was my first day clean, or so I thought, because I put down my drug of choice. I was drinking like a trooper. And I remember I'd made this, I thought I was Gordon Ramsay, like the female version. It was pasta, 4 cheese sauce, but the packet sauce you just mix with milk, right? And I thought I was a don, and I thought I wanted to be like they are in Europe and have a glass of wine with this pasta. And then my mum said something that made me feel this small, and then I wanted what I really, really wanted. So I went to another meeting, and they said, that alcohol is a drug, just like everything else. It's like a gateway, it's like a gate. You go up the garden path and start knocking on the door. And I got what they said, so that's when I started my recovery proper. And it's like on paper I'm like an NA success story. I done what they said. I went to meetings, I shared, I got a sponsor, I did the steps, I just done what they said, and a day turned into a week, turned into a month, and so forth. I remember like praying during those early days for that physical compulsion and the mental obsession to be removed. And a day at a time it was, but if you ask me to apply that step to life on life's terms, and people suddenly are speaking no English, right, honestly, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what the language is, say it slowly, I'm the proper member of the Slow Learners Club. I learned really, really, like when I came, they said like recovery is like an onion. I didn't get it, and now I get it. It's so like a flipping onion, and I can't dictate when I'm ready to peel that onion layer off, and so applying step one practically, that's what the reading we learned to live the steps. It took me a long time to learn. Like, I love writing people. I will write you a novel. I'll write it on nice paper in nice handwriting, and I'll just put my step work in a drawer. Do you get what I mean? It's no good in the drawer. I didn't know how to apply it to life on life's term. And then when I was 16 years clean, that's when the penny dropped. It just, like I said, Slow Learners Club. It took me a little bit to get it. With my family, my role is the scapegoat. That's my role. And I've done, ways and means to get more judged, ways and means to get them to like me, to accept me, to feel loved by them. I do all of this kind of stuff, people pleasing the arse out of them. And then it got to Christmas 2020, and my sister wasn't talking to me for God knows what reason. It don't take much to upset her, but God knows what reason. And I just realised, and then it was like a domino effect, and then my brother started piling on me, and then my mum just sits there like, oh, she just does his feet, does my nut. Anyways, like she just plays deaf, dumb and stupid, that woman. Anyways, so Christmas 2020, I was like, just a light bulb went on. You know, people throughout my recovery always say, Annmarie, you're powerless over your family. You're powerless over your family, and it's strange because it's not strange, but you know, with running the tape forward with drugs, I can do that all day long. It's not all the other drugs that I need to, you know, it's not all that I need to worry about. It's just that first one that I need to worry when I'm feeling shit, when something's happened. It's just that first one that I need to worry about. And I remember doing my first step one. Through the Green and Gold this step working guide, and there's a section on there about reservations, and I was like, surely if someone died, you've got a good excuse to use. What you do, that is a good excuse to use. And I remember my sponsor at the time saying, but it wouldn't change the fact that things happened, and it wouldn't stop any feelings that arise in me because of that you know, passing happening. All that would now happen is that I've now got a habit again, you know, and I've still got this grieving process that I'm delaying by using. And I got it when she said, I was like, yeah, you're right. So we crossed it out. So years later, my husband is Ian's nephew. So years later, I met my husband, and you know, we were trying for a baby. It didn't happen. We went through like round after round after round of IVF. We got pregnant once, went on a mini moon, and when we were so looking forward to coming back because we were going through our 3-month scan, and when we did, they said there was no heartbeat. So and I remember David was driving and I was in the passenger seat, and I remember us driving away from the hospital, and we got to the top of this road where you had to look left and right, and all I could think was, wow, I don't feel like using. Not, oh, babe, this thing's happened, you know, all our dreams are just, you know, gone out the window. All I could think about was how I didn't feel like using. And I remembered when I'd done the step one out of this book, and when my sponsor made me cross out the reservation. So all those years before, it was helping me now. Do you get what I mean? It was, that's all I could think. It was nuts. I just didn't feel like using, and it's been a rocky road because that, you know, I don't know when that grieving process is going to end, you know, and all that stuff. Anyways, the point is that it helped me years later. Can't remember what my point was, but I have another point, which was, and then where was I? Can't remember. But anyways, so I can fast forward the tape when it comes to using a day at a time, but applying that step one to my defects and life's term, I have struggled. So Christmas 2020, the light bulb went on, you know, like the toilet, the light bulb went on. I was like, shit, this is the same Christmas as last year, and it's the same Christmas as 5 years ago, it's 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's the same flipping Christmas. And I was like, this is what they mean. Powerless over my family, but I'm not powerless over myself. I've got to, because my sponsor said to me, Annmarie, when are you going to stop self-harming around your family? And I finally got it. So I stepped away in 2020 because, yeah, like I practiced the second part of step one really, really well. I can do unmanageable all day long, right? So I stepped away from them and I thrived. I no longer believed their version of me, because it's like you come to you do the steps, you learn about yourself, and you learn boundaries, you learn beliefs, you learn that, you learn. And it's like you're in university, like life's university. And then for me, going back around my family, it's like I'm going to hang out with people in nursery school. Do you get what I mean? It's just don't speak the same language or play the same way. And so I detached with love from them. And then in 2023, my sister came back into my life. She wanted to, I mean, to be fair, if I was her, I would miss me too. But you know, I've got, you know, now get good advice doing this stuff. Do you get what I mean? I could tell her about the time. She don't even know I'm talking about the 12 step. You're powerless, you know. And so we had this talk, because me and my sister never ever got on. And so we had this talk. It was like talking to a brick wall, but life's too short. Let's go. And then she had been experiencing ill health. She was like on her own journey of seeking stuff, you know, fulfillment, contentment, power greater than herself and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, come with me. I do this thing. Just I was like, yeah, come with me, and we go to this camping trip, and it's all good, this, that, and the other. So she came with me last year, and then I know we were sharing a caravan, and I noticed I was walking on eggshells. Or I just said to her, "Oh, there's no point in running the tap because the tap's not attached to a mains. It's attached to a bottle which you have to drag and fill up." So, you know, and she kicked off. So I was like, you know, don't react. And I felt like I was walking on eggshells. My boundary was sharing the caravan with me again. So of course this year she shared the caravan with me again. Right? Said the same thing to her. She was watching a plastic plate, and she's like, she's got OCD, this girl. And then she was running, and she's doing all that while the tap's running. I'm like, you ain't filling up that water bottle. Stop letting the tap run. She's like, there's something on it. It's like, and then my husband, he used that opportunity to play an Instagram video about women demasculating men. Is it emasculate, whatever it is, going, there's different ways to wash up. You know, it's not just your way. So basically, he got a pot out and started stirring it. And then, but I was fuming. And then the next day, I was like, morning, you know. And then he avoided me like the plague the whole day because he knew I had 2 words to say to him. So he avoided me. But with my sister, I felt like I was walking on eggshells again, because with her it's like a match to like a box of Tinder that can go boom. Do you get what I mean? And then I don't know. What happened was I got pinged back in the past, because it felt like them two were ganging up on me, just like my family did. So there is a point, I will get there. My mum does still go around the houses, but we'll get to the point. Anyways, so I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I felt ganged up. It might not be true what happened, but that's how I felt. And then so it's the last camping night. They're all having s'mores around the campfire. I'm like in the fetal position in this fucking caravan. Sorry, we called it in this caravan. Like they're all having fun. It's 7 o'clock. I'm in bed. I can't go. I'm like, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. I'm like, I've got to get home. I've got to get to my place of safety. So I kept it sweet with her. Got home, and then a light bulb went on. Annmarie, you've been enacting this drama triangle with her the whole time. Every interaction, that's my point, with my sister, is based on that drama triangle. She presents as a victim, or I victimise her, I then rescue her, and then either she persecutes me or I'm persecuting her. And I realised that was what had been going on all this time. So when she's come back into my life, she's come to me with a need. Well, that just kicks me into gear. I've got good stuff that I can share with you, you know. And I realised as well that on this camp, she's now taken my place, having fun with my mates. I'm in the caravan. I'm like, there's something wrong with this picture. So I should be out there having fun. You're having fun on my seat. I was like, this ain't happening. I'm not having it. I'm not fucking having it. I'll tell you. See that reading? It said, we're not responsible for our disease, but we are for our recovery. And I'm like, I could see, I can't tell you how many step 10 inventories I've done since I got back from camping. But I saw it. Do you get what I mean? I saw how I was being unmanageable. You know, it's not my job to rescue her. You know, I told her, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? I suggested to her. I did tell her, really. I'm trying to dress it up. I told her. Right? She didn't take on board any of my suggestions. So I'm like, all right, let me fix it. Do you get what I mean? So I practiced the second part of step 1 around my family really, really well. And I realised that it's at a cost to me. People, it's taken me 11 days, 2 months and 21 years to go, oh, I get it now. Do you get what I mean? I get it now, what I've done to myself. So I had to say to her, she got back and I dropped her off and everything. I got an £80 parking fine, picking her up, right? And I said to her, why didn't you tell me that because you can't see the sign. But anyway, she lives there. If I came to her, she'd say, it's parking restrictions, you can't park it. I'm blaming her. It is her fault. I don't care what the steps say. It's her fault, right? So I got an £80 it just was like, see, Annmarie, stop rescuing because it comes at a cost to you. So I said to her, I'm glad you had a nice time at this thing, but I want to keep our relationship and our social activities and stuff separate, because I find that when we butt heads, it's uncomfortable for me, for her, and people around us. So she's gone, boom. What do you mean? Where's all this coming from? You're out of order. It's meant to be welcoming. You're welcome. How can you stop me coming for a bite? So she's just gone in. And I'm like, she's going in like fine details. And I'm like, hold on. I'm having to check our messages to see if they correspond with what she's saying. I'm like, it don't correspond. It's like her spin on it is not factual. So I'm trying not to get in the details with her. And like, there's my version, there's her version, and then there's the truth. So it really don't matter what the details are. What matters is that when we butt heads, it's uncomfortable, and I need my safe places to be safe places. She don't understand what I'm saying. She's not a happy bunny, and I know that I've hurt her feelings by basically saying, I don't want to play with you no more, and you can't play with my friends. That's what I've basically said to her. But I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my recovery, and bringing her into those spaces is basically bringing the past into my present, and it's got to stay in the past, because what happens with the unmanageability, unmanageability, it affects my serenity, it affects my mental, my emotional. I can't sleep. She was screaming, I'm going, Steph, stop. Her voice was killing. I was like, stop. It's like she's got an Uzi Buzaka. She's like, I'm not trying to, let me answer them. Don't, it was just nuts. I'm like, I haven't been in a fight like that for ages. And I'm like, it's just confirmation that we can't resolve conflict as much as we want to. We can't resolve conflict. I need to put this boundary down, and I need to do it for my welfare and for hers, because really she's not, I was going to say she's a nice, but I guess she's a nice person. But she's got her. We've all got our ways, and she's got goals in her life that she needs to do. And I've realised I've been doing it for her, and I don't want to do it for her. It's not my place to do it for her. And when I do it for her, I'm just unmanageable. So that's where I've been. Like I said, I can step one around. This traumatic thing, this horrible things happen to us, don't pick up the first one. But when it comes to life on life, so when it comes to what defects is showing up today, I struggle. But it's like the reader said, we learn to lift the steps. So it doesn't matter when I learn. I can't dictate what layer of onion I peel off and when I peel it off. My higher power dictates. I need to be ready to do that. I'm like, I thought I could learn this in 2023. In 2020, I thought I did. I thought I learned it in year 2, if I'm honest, or even before then. When I had my counsellor, I thought I learned it, but I guess there's different layers to it. There's different layers to that learning, because it's not the tip of the iceberg that sunk the Titanic, is it? It's the iceberg underneath that we couldn't see that sunk the fucking Titanic. That sunk that shit. And that's all my stuff that's going to take a lifetime of undoing, because it's not like it just stays there. It comes with me. Just because I'm clean, it doesn't mean I stop. It comes with me. Step 12 says we practice. We practice. And that means I'm going to make mistakes. Sometimes I make new mistakes. A lot of my recovery, I've made the same mistakes on a different day. And then when I'm like, ow, that hurts, I go back and make that same mistake, But no matter, despite all of that stuff, what I'd done in my early days was pick up the phone, call my sponsor, what step can I work around it, or what defects are showing, it's always about step one. When I look, it's always about step one. And that's what my counsellor always told me as well. She said, Annmarie, it's always about step one, because if I don't have step one, I haven't got step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ain't got none of them. It always starts and begins and ends with step one, you know. So now I've got a new layer of step one to practice. Do you get what I mean? I hope I'm not here next year saying I invited her again. Do you know what I mean? I hope I'm not back here saying I've done it again, people, because you know me, because I'm a slow learner. I flipping will, you know, I flipping hope not, because I'm done. So I feel drained. That's why I feel tired. I feel so drained from it. It's draining, that shit, you know. It's so draining, but still clean, still haven't used, ain't got no reservations. I'll leave it there.
Thanks,
Thank you.